In the vast and sprawling universe of Halo Wars 2, where strategy and decision making can be the difference between victory and defeat, map control plays an integral role. The game, a real-time strategy video game developed by 343 Industries and Creative Assembly, combines the thrill of strategic warfare with immersive lore of the Halo universe. In the heart of the game, players must command armies from a bird's eye view of the battlefield. Deploying troops, managing resources, and strategizing attacks are all crucial elements of gameplay. However, one aspect that can easily tip the scales in the favor of the winning side is map control. Map control in Halo Wars 2 is all about understanding the terrain, knowing where the resources are, managing choke points, and keeping an eye on the enemy's movements. It's about being one step ahead of your opponent and using the map to your advantage. So how can we achieve map control? Here's a step-by-step guide. And step 1 is understanding the map. Every map in Halo Wars 2 is unique with its own set of advantages and disadvantages. Understanding the layout, resource locations, and key strategic points is the first step towards map control. Let's take a moment to look at the map Bedrock. First thing I would like to do is explain this map a little bit. So we have our main bases on these two sides here. We have our 4 expansions. This is Bedrock in 1v1. Sadly, I can't go through all the maps for 1s, 2s, 3s, and every type of map there is, but hopefully you can take what you learn here and use it elsewhere. So the first thing I would like to go over is what all these dots mean. I'm pretty sure most of you will know. So the light blue dots are going to be for your supply resources. Your yellow dots is for your power resources. The orange dots is for the power nodes. So I really think you should know every single map by the back of your hand, and that would allow you to put focus elsewhere. But there is a few things that I want to go over. The first thing is where the best choke points are on the map. The best choke points are on the map is right here. There's 4, right? Those are going to be the best. These are the ones you're going to want to really use to your advantage. But you should also be very careful walking through here. Very careful, because your opponent might do the same thing. For example, if you have 5 wraiths coming through here and I just take a few choppers and ram the first one, the other 4 will group up into one single group, and a glassing beam can take out all 5 wraiths. So stuff like that is same thing with like vortex lightning and teamwork and stuff, and ODST drop and other stuns in the game. So be very, very careful, guys, when going through when going through here. So now I want to say, if I was, let's say I'm UNSC and I'm playing offensively. So they have this base right here, right? Something I like to do is I like to set up my Kodiaks right in this area. Now I choose this area. You could also do it up here. I choose this area instead of here, and the reason is because right here does not reach this base. This reaches this base with Kodiaks. So while they have this base right here, I like putting my Kodiaks in this area up here as well, and then my army stays right in this area right here. So that way, whenever they push through, let's just say I'm Forge for the sake of argument. When they push through here, I want to scatter bomb this area. I want to use the Y ability from my Forge Hog on this area. I want to use every Y ability my army has on this area, while the Kodiaks are shooting on this. Even if he has more units than I do, I can wipe an 80 population army out really quickly just because of this choke point. So I want to abuse this as much as I can, while at the same time of doing this, I want to keep scouts here, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here, around this base. But essentially, these 3, right? So that, because I want constant pressure of my Kodiaks hitting this base. Now another thing is, let's say you're banished, you don't have Kodiaks. Blisterbacks is a little out of the question for the fact of its Tech 3 units. You also can use Locusts through here, right, to shoot through the wall, and the same thing on the backside. So you can shoot through the wall with Locusts as long as you have sight. So that way you don't have to commit, but you are right next to the choke point, but you don't have to walk through the choke point. So that means out here you can disperse any which way you want. And if your opponent starts chasing after you, which I know they will, whenever they start chasing after you, you back up a bit to right about, you know, this area, and then you start using your leader powers on this choke point area and just killing their army. Now let's say you're on the defense. Let's say your base is over here and now they're pushing you, right? So for siege, the best place is here and here. So those are going to be your best two places for siege. You can honestly take this and you can back it up a little bit over here if they're pushing really heavily into this area. Now, as for your main army, as they push into my base, my Kodiaks are hitting them here, and then I will come up behind them, and that is the best way. So now they're in this little choke point area right here, and you can use leader powers and Y abilities and stuff like that, and really light them up. Step 2. Scout early and often. Scouting is essential. It provides information about the enemy's location, their resources, and their strategy. A well-timed scout can reveal your opponent's weakness. I have an in-depth video on this channel that will be linked into this video. Step 3. Resources are the lifeblood of your army. Securing the resources and power nodes in the game will give you the upper hands in terms of army size and tech level. Resources being the most important, giving you the economy you need to build your infrastructure and your early units. Very soon we'll need to make the transition to getting the power nodes. This will help our early game with faster leader points, extra sight, and bolstering our economy. The final step, Step 5. Constantly adapt. The situation on the battlefield can change at an instant. Constantly adapt to your enemy's strategy and the state of the map. If you lose control of an area, swiftly formulate a plan to regain it. In summary, map control in Halo Wars 2 is about understanding the terrain, scouting regularly, securing resources, controlling the choke points, and constantly adapting to the situation. It's a dance of strategy and tactics, where the player who can best navigate the battlefield often emerges victorious. Remember, in the world of Halo Wars 2, knowledge is power, and map control is the key to that power, so go forth and make your strategies lead you to victory.